All right. Hello. Oh, the music is loud. Dude, give her the old gentle fade out there. Oh, the music. Was that loud on your end? I was like, from what I could tell in the metering, it seemed fine, but it also seemed, I don't know, could be wrong. This is what happens when we don't have like a producer guy, sort of behind the screen doing stuff for us. I'm doing it all. Anything like, in case you didn't realize when you're watching this show, anything you see coming up on the screen and stuff is literally me right now clicking around and doing it. There's no programming behind it or something. Nat is going to be coming tonight. I don't know where she is. I thought she would be down here by now. I don't know if she expected me to go and collect her, like I'm also like a production assistant, like going into the green room, like, okay, they're ready for you now. I can't do everything. I wonder if I text her, can I get her to bring me a beverage? Because now I'm very thirsty. Can you get me something to drink when you come down? When you cinema down? I just had it. I think I spelled C-I instead of C-O, and that ended up becoming cinema in autocorrect. I hate Samsung autocorrect. This shit's insane. Okay, when you come. Who else is here? Is there anybody else watching? I do enjoy it when people are part of the live chat. Jessica, of course, is our most frequent live chatter. We got to get you actually on the show one day as an actual guest. You're always here in the chat, and I appreciate that. Nat has joined us wearing her like writer or artist schmuck. I don't know why I said writer first. It's much more painter.
Yeah, my. Is
no.
this on?
Yes, it is.
It is. Yeah, just my kindergarten school teacher smock.
Yeah. Like you're about to do finger painting, and so that's what you wear?
Literally. Yeah. I just wanted to get a bit more cozy before we hunker down for a bit.
Yeah. Understandable. I changed T-shirts to do the show because I didn't like how the T-shirt I was wearing would have looked on camera. Not that it was like a bad shirt or anything, but yeah. Aesthetics. I wanted to wear a black shirt. Okay, so we wanted to talk about a few things tonight. What do you want to start with?
I want to start with, is my headset in? Is that why it sounds weird to me? Hello? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Sorry.
No, I just
I forgot you were on a separate volume control.
I was just separately still troubleshooting to be like, it does sound weird, doesn't it? Why does it sound weird? He can hear me. Anyways, what you're wondering what we want to chat ourselves about?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, one of the things that has given me a little glow today is that story that I sent you about 500 tenants in 5 different buildings in Toronto have just banded together. That's not it. Have just banded together to go on rent strike, and I am fucking chuffed for them. Because if you read into this more, it isn't just folks deciding their rent is too high, which I think would be valid, and I would support them anyways. But the specific issue that they're railing around is that their slumlords aren't even fixing
that's a
things.
Different one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also scroll up. Maybe that one. You know what? Maybe I'll just find it. It doesn't matter. But either way, the slumlords aren't making improvements and repairs to these apartment buildings to make them livable. Oh, it's right there.
Is that the same link? Because that's one I just found. So cool. I'm glad we ended up in the same place. So yeah, CP24. Nearly 500 tenants from 5 apartment buildings in Toronto are now on rent strike.
And I love it. Like, I love everything about it because, honestly, these landlords feel no obligation on their end to uphold their part of the bargain. Like, the part of the bargain of you as a landlord is you carry the risks and the cost of maintenance, but that means you actually need to maintain your fucking buildings. Like, you can't just let them get overrun with bed bugs and roaches and be like, well, it's a tenant problem. No, it is your building a problem.
And it's not even just that. Like, it's the exuberant prices on top of that. You know?
Yeah.
It's you're not only are you failing to do the most basic things that are required of you as the owner of this property and the one extracting wealth from it, from the tenants. You're not meeting those basic things, but you're also like quite obviously charging too much and just saying that's the market. Right?
Yeah. I mean, like, folks can't buy because rent is so fucking high. And so it becomes this delightful self-fulfilling prophecy where I don't have control over my living environment because I pay rent, and I can't get a mortgage because of how fucking high my rent is, even though a mortgage in most cases would be lower than what your rental payments would be. Like, it's just, it's a completely broken system that is failing all of us renters. It's working quite well for landlords. Anyway.
Expanding on this here in the story is according to Padavani, the deteriorating conditions at the Northwest Toronto residences, including a serious insect infestation, have got to the point that Canada Post has ceased mail delivery.
Like, imagine how fucking bad the situation has to be of an infestation so that no one gets their mail.
Yeah.
That is significantly
or, like,
horrific.
You have to maybe pick it up from the post office.
Even
like, you have to go there
so,
yourself.
like,
I'm sure there's some other way they came up with, but still, like, the fact that the mailman or mail person doesn't want to
not just doesn't
go
want
on
to
your property.
Not just doesn't want to, has been validated by the uppers to be like, you know what, this is unsafe and it's fucked up. You don't have to go.
Yeah.
Like, no one as a mail person gets to decide, you know what, I'm just not
I
going to do it today.
Don't feel like it. Yeah, they don't
it's
really
kind
have
of
that.
their whole thing.
Yeah.
So for you to be like legally exempted from delivering to a specific place, you need a good fucking reason.
No shit. That's freaking wild. I think that's the first time I personally ever heard of that happening. I'm sure it's happened in the past, but you know, that's the first time I've heard of that. So, and like, I think the most frustrating thing to me about hearing that is like, it had to take things to get that bad.
Yeah.
Before,
and that's the thing.
you know,
I was ready to rent strike in 2020.
And our building was pretty good. I mean,
our place,
I mean,
we've
comparatively
lived better.
speaking.
Like, sorry, we've lived worse.
We've lived worse.
Yeah, but that is such a low fucking bar.
Especially for what we were paying.
What everyone's paying. But yeah, like the bar's in hell. And
Yeah.
somehow these landlords are limboing underneath it to get their fucking renters on strike because of, like, holy fucking shitballs. Like, this is awful. But yeah, no, honestly, at the beginning of the pandemic,
if you
I was
walk
hoping
down the
that,
halls, you can always smell a foul smell.
yeah, like, that's just,
Well, the conditions have been challenging for tenants. It was an application on their landlord's part to implement above guideline rental increases that pushed the group into action. So, like, exactly what we were just saying. Like, you know, it's their failure to do the most basic things plus they're asking for more money. It's insane. Like, that is, you know, people toss around the word like, this is madness, this is insane, this is things like that. But, like, really just sit with this for a second. The level of bullshit that is happening, and like this is literally people's livelihoods. This is
Not
you know,
livelihoods, their lives.
their
Like
lives,
where they
yeah, like,
live.
yeah.
Don't fuck with where people live. Like,
It-
Jesus Christ.
This should be like such basic right shit, but yeah, it's so obvious that these landlords, you know, not only is landlording just in the first place not a real job, it's like, you know, an investment, like extraction thing, but not only is it not a real job, but it also is like a reverse job.
Yeah.
It's anti-job. It's like, you know, it's one thing to say it's not a job, but you're just you're extracting from nothing and then asking for more.
Yeah.
It starts to feel like, you know, the same class of people when they try and say that the lower classes are the sponges, you know, using up our tax dollars and all this
Fucking
stuff.
wish.
Yeah.
I'll take
you
some
know,
tax dollars. I paid that shit.
It kind of goes back to the thing where it's like every accusation is a confession kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, throwing around their feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is like, I hope that we keep seeing stuff like this, and with the, what other link did I send you about unionizing and striking? Like, it's on the uptick, and good, fucking good. I'm so past ready. I understand that you know, this stuff is scary and it shakes your foundations of stability, but fuck, inaction sure as shit does as well. So yeah, like, I think that I hope that rent strikes get bigger and bigger, because and for smaller issues, because honestly, collectively we have so much more power, and we are paying
really push,
so far out our noses.
It will really push the conservatives to really show their hand too, in terms of how much their ideas around fixing the housing crisis are hollow and full of shit.
Yeah.
If we apply that kind of pressure where, rent strikes, we kind of continue this trend, and at least enough that it can't be ignored as like the well, it's, you know, housing's already a campaign issue, but you know, the idea of rent striking and how they will react to that and what, you know, each side says is good and true. I hope that presents an opportunity for Poilievre to really show his hand that where his interests lie in terms of housing people, because like I find it hard to believe any person who's already, you know, a non-conservative is buying into that, though. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, like, okay, if you're 20, I guess you haven't been around long enough, but if you live to our age and you still want to give this guy the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I am not giving the benefit of the doubt to your intelligence. Fucking shit.
I am so, like I can only see like his rise as like it's just pure like anti-Trudeau sentiment.
I get it.
That's all that is. Oh, we're just like tired of this Trudeau guy, which is fine. You know, that it's fine to be like we're bored of this guy. We want to move on. That's you know, that's fine. Doesn't mean you hand it over to that fucking clown. But
well, it's
anyway.
like you still gotta have fucking standards, right? You'd be like, I'm sick of this dude, so I'm gonna vote for, puts in a blindfold, puts one bullet in the chamber of the gun and spins it, and like, I'm gonna vote for it. Click, 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 click. Like, your choice does actually matter. Like, you don't need to do that. You can just vote for Singh.
And that
vote
is
NDP.
Yeah. Like I was just gonna say, it's like, and that doesn't mean that we like trust Trudeau to be the solver of this problem as well. No. We certainly don't. No. That like if he's indicated anything, he doesn't have much of an interest in doing something about this, unless it becomes more of a campaign issue. As far as I've seen, there hasn't even been much of a liberal response to the the Poilievre ads kind of leaning into the housing stuff. I haven't seen much from the Liberals in regards to this, but that aside, the we talked a bit about the Nazi who was honored in the House of Commons last week, and how it seemed kind of nuts that the speaker didn't just resign. Well, evidently he has.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. When did that happen?
You
Like,
didn't
what
look it
day?
up. I don't, Wednesday? I don't know.
Speaker resigns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, I literally, I did not hear about this until like we were talking before the show, and she's like, "No, he actually did resign." I was like, "Oh shit." Yeah.
See, why did Rhoda step down?
Yeah, over accidental tribute.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine to be like I don't know how much ignorance or malice was involved in this, and it's kind of impossible to know. You know, I think there's argument either way to
My glasses are stuck in my hair.
combination of the two, you know, 60-40, 70-30, 50-50, whatever, right? That it was ignorance or malice that led to this happening. I don't think it matters at that point. Like,
No.
he did the right thing in resigning.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we could. It's maybe like a fun exercise to debate what side of that led to more of the other, and it's probably, you know, I would say it's, my estimation would be that it's more ignorance, but probably more malice than most of us would be comfortable with recognizing.
But here's the thing: is that like, regardless of what, you know, you're in that position, you have a responsibility to do better. Like,
well, that's just it.
when
Yeah,
you're
to
claiming
not
ignorance,
have
it's
the
like
due diligence.
Yeah, like if you're claiming ignorance, then that is just, you know, proof that you were unfit, and so you got to fucking go. Because, like, honestly, and that just makes me wonder all sorts of things. Like, you know, is there any kind of vetting for who they invite in? Like, can just anybody and their dog show up? Like, how does that? I don't know how that works.
I know,
but I would be interested to find out how that works,
there's-
because, like,
yeah,
that was weird.
There's lead up questions there. You're absolutely right.
Well, just like for the just thinking in terms of trying to get hired for like a security role, like people ask you questions.
yeah.
So I know this isn't being hired, but it's putting you, I would think, in a high security environment. I would think. But then again, maybe I expect more than what is responsible. Who the fuck knows?
I'm trying to find.
What is your Twitter feed?
Oh, these are just like my likes. And sometimes I like stuff because I don't use the bookmarks a lot. I kind of use likes as bookmarks. So I'm just trying to find God damn it. Here, sorry, keep going. Don't mind me. I'm trying to find.
What I was talking about.
Oh, damn it.
What are you looking for? Oh, and
no, I think.
No, I'm gonna Owenda. Owenda.
Here, wait.
Owenda. What about Melon Husk dressing up as cowboy cosplay?
Oh yeah, I could pull that up.
No.
Damn it. I'm not going to be able to find. I don't think it's even in my likes. God damn it.
And I have zero clue as to what you're trying to go into.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. But basically, it was a conservative writer was going on, like, you know, basically trying to shift the focus that now it's Trudeau's fault, right? That Trudeau honored the Nazi. Trudeau should recognize his fault in this. Da 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 da. And it's just like,
you try and play both sides, my good bitch.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, the speaker resigned. You know, they should have known better. Absolutely, all this stuff. But trying to, like, you know, capitalize this as this like big political moment where you're going to expose the Liberals as like the true Nazis, coming from people who are far right, is fucking hilarious.
Well, just they know Trudeau ain't one of them, and so, but they want people who don't know that to be confused enough.
Yeah, if Trudeau was as much to the right as these people are, they wouldn't have nothing to say.
He'd be their best dude.
Like I think the one tweet that I saw that got me onto this was
Yes, Brent, you did call it.
called what?
Oh, about the speaker getting resigning.
Yeah, it took a little longer than it should have, but glad I have. Like in my estimation, when you're like, oh, I honored a Nazi at our House of Commons, that means I resign. that should have been like the reaction in my
At the
mind.
very least, you should do something sort of like, wow, holy shitting dick balls, this was like super embarrassing. We're gonna take some time to reevaluate and stuff. So if after that you don't decide to resign, I would still disagree, but I would at least have a little bit more respect for like how you've immediately addressed it, for to just sort of put out a statement like, yeah, whoopsie doodle, but what are you gonna do? It's no big deal. That's not the right play.
No, obviously not. Like trying to downplay the severity
It's
of
an
that.
honest mistake.
Yeah, that
Could happen
doesn't
to anybody.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Shouldn't.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's what gets me the most about this is they're like, of course capitalizing on it politically. I get it is sort of like lame as it is in a way. It's like I get it, but it's just the fact that it comes from this side that's further to the right, the side that's more anti-immigration, right? Like the side the side that is literally more fascistic is the same side that's like up in arms about having the Nazi in the House of Commons. Like, I would love to have seen what would happen if a conservative did that. I mean, I think they have.
Yeah. Like crickets,
there's
really.
been like, it wasn't, Doug Ford got his picture taken with some really notable far right figures and things like that.
Who can keep it
like,
all straight?
It's all sort of just, it's all bullshit, man.
Yeah. Brent also remarked on he meant blaming it on Trudeau. He assumed it was given. He figured it was a given that Rhoda was going to resign. So, anywho.
Yeah, trying to shift this into like a big story about like Trudeau's consent over Nazism or something like that is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
More so just considering the source of that criticism.
Well, it's like the most literal sense of every accusation is a confession.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's why they're mad. The right
He's
wing
holding in on their turf.
Yeah, well, like it's like they get to mauled about other people being right wing for once. I don't know.
No, it's like you're stealing all our thunder. We're
Yeah,
supposed to be the one who's courting that end.
Like you're not supposed to make it this obvious, too. Like we're trying to stay under the radar to a certain degree here. Plausible deniability.
No.
Putting the guy right out in front of us for the world to see. How many former Ukrainian Nazis this country has housed? We don't want people to start talking about that.
But yeah, Brent was saying Goldie Gamari was the one who sat with Ford or was photographed with Ford.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Goldie. Didn't she have what was her internet
literally?
nickname?
Oh, okay.
She Gamari was her last name, or whatever. But I think she was known as something else. It was like Goldie. She had some sort of nickname or something. Am I remembering this right?
Graham. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah. I feel like there was something there. I can barely remember that person now. Thank goodness. But I feel like there was more to it than more than that. I'm remembering some old guy or something like that Ford got his picture taken with.
Who the fuck knows? Who can keep up?
So yeah, for the conservatives to be the ones that they think they have a leg to stand on, where plotting Nazis. My goodness. You only depend on them for half your votes and you know it.
Yeah. So I guess maybe he should sort of pivot that to being he stole my idea.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be my guest of honor.
We all know about how in the Stephen Harper campaign they tried to purposely target religious new immigrants
Mm.
to capitalize on the like, oh, you hate like gay people and like all this sinful stuff in our public schools and want to protect your children and stuff like that. They've been that's been a play for them for a long time.
Yeah. Speaking of which, just today, apparently they had a whole bunch of anti-abortion protesters like across Toronto and other areas.
Yeah, I mean, like if the anti-abortion protesters, unfortunately, are nothing new.
Sure, but it was a bigger one specifically today, and so that was the whole thing. Did you not see anything about that?
No.
Really? Let me see about. Oh, can I bring you something to drink when I come down? Which I didn't see, and therefore that's why you're drinking my drinks. So
yes. Yeah. Now you're caught on.
It's all starting to make sense. Where is he? I think it's already gone. Yeah, it's already gone off my stories. I don't know. Shit happened. Fucking bastards. If you go to tools, it'll show you like just today. Anytime. Past 24 hours. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. They're up to the entire
it
point of me bringing that up.
Thing. I can't find anything about it.
The entire thing, the entire reason for me bringing that up is just, it's easy for the right to organize a bunch of people on short notice. Because these people have
it's like church money, lobby group
money.
It's
church money, but also
like upper middle class money.
Upper middle class money, and since these folks aren't basically fighting for their lives and triggered off their fucking nut from all this bullshit, they've got the energy to keep doing it. And they will, because they see that they're getting traction, and so they're just going to keep hammering in the hopes that they win by exhaustion, and that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Because, not all of us have the marathon stamina to go to a bunch of anti-protests like every fucking day.
But, just want to bring back to the good news for a second.
The good news.
Just to wrap up that end of the show.
And actually, speaking of that end of the show, California, their fast food workers now have a minimum wage $20 an hour. So fucking A for California fast food workers.
Hell yeah.
And then what was that? The SAG-AFTRA? The writer's strike.
Yes.
Like they won. It's over. For the writers. The actors, yeah. So writer's strike finally over. So they got some really great shit here, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, so this is Adam Conover's Twitter. And yeah, so here we go.
So the writer's strike is finally over, and I am so happy to tell you that we fucking won. This is the contract that we just spent the last 148 days fighting for, and let me tell you what's in it. A guarantee that a minimum number of writers be hired on every show. A guarantee that comedy variety writers like me be paid the same in streaming as we are in TV. Provisions that mean better pay for screenwriters, better pension and health for writing teams, script fees for staff writers for the first time, and protections against AI that mean that AI can't write scripts, edit scripts, or undermine our rights and credits. And we won a success-based residual. So for the first time, when more people watch a movie or TV show on streaming, the writer that created it will make more money too.
That's fucking boss. I hope that happens for the actors as well.
They swore to us 5 months ago they would never give us in a million years. But we went on strike and we hung together until they were forced to come to the table and meet our demands. And we changed not just our industry for ourselves, but for every writer who comes after us. And I am so proud of us. Thank you to every writer who made this victory happen. And thank you to every fellow worker who stood with us. We are going to stand with you as well, because what this proves is that when workers stand together, we win.
Yes.
And now,
1,000 times
Let's
yes.
get back to writing.
Yes,
So the
1,000 times
writers-
yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that's that.
So that's awesome. What's the status of the UAW? Because one of the things that they're fighting for is 4-day work weeks, and fucking Christ, I want that to happen.
Yeah. That gets set as a standard, and that's the thing. Like, going back to those the tenant strike
Mhm.
and the writer's strike,
Mhm.
when people come together like this
Mhm.
and hold their ground, they win.
Yeah.
There
There are more of us than there are of them.
Yes, 100%. Remember that. And like they want to make it hurt. Of course, they don't want
Yeah.
to make it that.
Well,
that
that's
sort of thing
that's
easy.
that's an unfortunate thing where was it Newsom? He's the California governor.
Yeah.
So he just vetoed a bill to allow striking workers to claim EI. So that is disappointing. Hopefully, there's a reason for that. Like
Newsom kind of sucks. Is partially the reason for that.
yeah, I know.
Dude
most,
sucks.
most of them suck. It's kind of like one step forward, two steps back, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
fucking shitting fuck. Anyways, hopefully it'll come out that he says something to the effect of rejig it and we'll work it again, as opposed to just no, you strike, you drown on your own, fuck off. Anyway, so yeah, that's disappointing from Newsom. And then sorry, did you see the status of the UAW? But anyway, so the auto workers unions, that's madly exciting about them striking together. And then there's another strike coming up potentially soon for U.S. healthcare workers. But I can't remember if it's I think it's nurses that's coming up soon. So it's lots of folks now are starting to either remember or recognize for the first time the strength in gathering in community, in unionizing, in order to be able to just win and just get what we need to not just barely survive with our heads above water, but to thrive. Like, we deserve, all of us deserve to thrive.
And the fact that there is people even in our own class or close to our own class that are willing to entertain arguments about the contrary, right? Like, no, deserve to thrive. Since when do you deserve to thrive? Just a couple generations ago, we had to fight to survive and all this stuff. And it's just such bullshit.
Well, it's
quite
also like, what the
frankly.
fuck were they fighting for? For you to just roll over on your belly.
Yeah,
right.
For us,
fuck
like,
off.
we fought for your freedom, but also you can't have freedom because it's
Yeah.
not free because we have to still fight for. What is the point you're making?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, or that old chestnut of kids these days have it a lot easier than I did.
Yeah,
That's the fucking point.
yeah. It's the whole. I thought that was the whole idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
it's in a similar vein to like, when in my day, kids they left the house at sunrise and they didn't come home till sunset, and they were able to
Scientific
right in the
advancements were supposed to, improve our quality of life, not just like have the same quality of life but with more like bullshit gadgets in it.
Yeah. Yeah, like, take all my fucking gadgets, honestly. Take
yeah.
every single fucking gadget. I'd appreciate if you left the air fryer, but, if that's got to go too,
C'est
then
la vie.
okay. But yeah, no, seriously, like, folks saying things like, back in our day, like, we, there's no drunk driving laws and there's no seatbelt laws, and we were just fine for it. No, people died.
People
Things-
died.
Things
They
changed because people
literally
died. Serial killers were targeting children, and so that's why.
And not only that, like in a lot of cases, the same people saying that know someone who's
Yeah,
died.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, you remember good old Bud? Oh, he was a great
yeah, flew
friend.
through the windshield. Hate those seatbelt laws, though.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, back in our day, like we used to have so much fun. Up until I killed Fred with the lawn darts. Like honestly, fucking shitting fuck. Like gain any kind of
God, I loved that game. Went right into my friend's brain. But God, I love
But
that
then they
game.
took it away from
They
us.
took it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, this is why they're so stuck on guns. Yeah, like they took my lawn darts from my cold dead hands. I can't have my guns. That's
Yeah.
where I draw the line. Fuck.
Yeah. It's yeah.
It just makes me think of The Simpsons and Bart trying to shoot an apple off of Milhouse's head, and Milhouse is like, "Miss." I think I'm thinking of that right. It might be a little bit off. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Something animated happened around that, and it was funny.
Fred died as he lived, stupidly.
Taking down a lot of people with him. Ah, the good old times.
Yeah, and that reminds me. I want to look up that the Elon Musk thing.
The melon husk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean, there's a few of them in the past 48 hours. One is, him
well,
cosplaying as
it's
a
been
cowboy.
getting memed, and so that's like that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I hope I.
Oh, you just scrolled past it.
Well, that's a video of him. Okay.
Oh, I forgot
But
Potato.
there's one particular picture I was kind of
the one
looking
where this is your god, or
yeah. Is this your king? So, this Elon Musk decided to drive his dumbass down to the southern border, like he's gonna do something, right?
Well,
like,
and it's like-
I had one of the funniest comments I saw from an Elon simp today talking about this was like, what is he not supposed to drive down to the border to in order to figure out a solution to this problem?
What solution?
Well, like the solution to the problem with the kids in the submarine getting like stuck in the flooded cave,
Yeah.
like his stupid solution to that got
Yeah.
rejected, and oh god, like the the simping for this guy is unreal. Like, what is it about this freaking weirdo that makes people want to defend him like that? And like it's one thing to give the guy like the benefit of the doubt because he has this air of being successful in your mind,
Yeah.
but like that is like a next level thing. Like,
Yeah.
no, how else is he supposed to solve this problem? Like, he solves everything, he's so good. Like, what?
Yeah, and it's like,
It's so
My-
servile and just
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, my sweet summer child, he's not gonna give you money.
yeah.
Like, you
what-
can suck his
do you
balls
think like
all you want.
if I
like,
think enough like Elon, I
he'll
can
recognize
be
my
ri-
tweets,
well,
and then
or-
he'll pull
or
me
I'll
into
just
the
become
fold.
rich and successful like Elon because I'll have brilliant ideas and
Because somehow I'll be born into Apperth.
it's like the idea. It's the whole like pickup artist sort of manipulation idea, where it's just like, yeah, if I just do the right combinations of chess moves and I learn those moves, I too can unlock the cool secrets in stuff. I think that's like something that comes down to like where it's almost like witchcraft for men. that's what it is. They're just like, if they manifest, if they like just get locked in with the spiritual energy of Elon Musk enough, of this guy, like, because look at this guy. Who doesn't want to be this guy?
John Boyle, he was clearly looking for Neuralink testers. Go. Well, I mean, sorry.
I wouldn't put it past him at this
Oh,
point.
fuck
you
no.
know?
Yeah. Like, he's like, ignore the van with the blacked out windows. Yeah, I'm just here for this. And they just hear like muffled cries. And
I like how we've been making fun of him for several minutes. I haven't even started playing the video.
why would you? All right, play.
Okay. But, and also take note, like, I'm sure anybody who's seen him in this scenario here already knows this because everybody pointed it out. He's wearing the cowboy hat backwards.
Yeah.
He's wearing it backwards.
Because he's a big
And what's
goober.
great, even better about that, is you consider all the people that are around him, and it was like a long drive down to the southern border, right? And no one told him. No one told him. So I think that I feel like that says something.
Obviously, Elon here. I'm at Eagle Pass, just arrived, and we're just gonna go around and talk to the major officials and law enforcement and whatnot that are here and just kind of eyeball the situation, get a sense for what's going on, and so you can get the kind of like the real story.
The real
Like,
story of
what
what?
do you think?
What do you mean?
Do you think you're a journalist now? Like, what are you doing, my guy? What are you doing? Well, largely, I think what prompted him to go down there.
Because he wanted to check out the buoys with the razor blades?
Well, not the buoys with the razor blades. I didn't see a lot of like strong argument against that, but there was a picture that was going around of people trying to enter the border, crawling through razor wire, and there was a lot of hoopla about the picture being fake, or that it was you know, a theater, you know, like a setup scene, that it was all staged, if not just photoshopped, you know, because, you know, it looked terrible, what was happening. You don't want to believe that that sort of thing is real especially if your goal as
And yet, buoys and razor blades, like, fucking, what part is unbelievable
Yeah,
of them
it's-
trying to, clearly murder people?
Yeah.
Like, they go around and they remove water from places around the border so that...
So yeah, I feel like him being there was like basically a response to, especially all the dumbass blue checks that pay for Twitter and worship this guy. That, you know, he's like, we're gonna show you what's really happening down here. And now he's been down there. Like, this was a day or two ago, and you'd think if he found something that was gonna like just prove him really right, without a shadow of a doubt, you know, he probably would have posted it by now. Yeah, this was on the 29th, right? I yet to see or hear of any follow-up about this. But yeah, I bet you will hear nothing from him. I love how people act like he's stumbling speech pattern is because he's trying to explain high-level ideas, but there he is stumbling, playing visiting a border. He's just mumble-mouthed. Yeah, he sounds like, you know, it's funny because, like, I think this it also speaks to, like, just, like, his ego and character in general, in a sense, but he talks like an insecure teenager. He just sounds like one. Like, even the sort of cadence of his voice and everything, he sounds like, just a nervous boy. It's kind of weird.
And make no mistake, of all the people on the planet I will feel any kind of empathy for, they're literally all of them are lined up in front of this guy.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you feel like a insecure teenager. I'm still getting the guillotine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's what should make you nervous.
Like, yes,
Like, are you checking the border for no
I
guillotines? Because we're
pity
fucking
you.
coming.
Like, I pity the guy in a certain sense, but I also don't because, he's a billionaire, so fuck him.
Well, not just billionaire, like fucking
Like, he wants to be liked
fascist
so
cunt.
bad.
Well,
And he's
maybe
like
don't be
sitting
a
on this
fascist.
mountain of money, and he like for some reason just can't figure out how to get people to legitimately like him for being like a funny meme lord or whatever. It's just really sad, you know.
No. I mean, if anything, that makes me feel a smidge better about the universe.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Like-
but it's crazy, like that he has, like, you know, this much like influence in people who admire him, and he still can't seem to find like a real like.
But could you imagine how much more insufferable he would be otherwise? Like, imagine this chuckle fuck with,
With a purpose,
Well-
I feel like maybe he might do something.
well, he already
uh,
is with his Nazi takeover.
yeah.
What was that? He got
But I
shit
feel like
about.
that's more a lack of purpose. directionless. Like he's just reacting like the scared child he is or whatever.
Disagree.
I'm speculating.
And
I'm
here's the reason. Here's one of billions of reasons I disagree. So check out current Melon Husk thing about him getting in shit and trying to roll back, apologizing for or promoting in Germany what's it called, the ADF. Am I picking the right acronym?
I don't know.
Okay.
The ADF. They're basically I forget what the acronym is now, but
the world of the
Jewish social justice group, from what I understand, like a very anti-Semitism.
I think I might be picking up the wrong one. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, and thank goodness that we have all the power of the internet. There we go. Musk shares his post calling for. Or he's
down with the ADF, and the ADF is actually the right wing.
AFD. That's why I got confused. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Like how am I supposed to keep anything straight when there's like all these acronyms? Okay. Yeah. So yes.
Musk shares a post calling for victory of far right alternative for Germany party. The post Musk shared criticized the German state for funding charities rescuing migrants in the Mediterranean, saying, "Let's hope the AFD." Okay. Yeah. This is totally something because there was a thing with Musk like last week or 2 weeks ago where he was being super anti-Semitic.
And so John,
the Anti-Defamation League, yes,
is
thank
the
you.
ADF,
Okay.
but what I was trying to say
right,
is AFD.
Right. I'm glad I wasn't just like imagining something there. Thank God.
No. Once you said it, I'm like, no, that's the ADF. But then what am I thinking? I'm thinking AFD.
Yeah, well, he's just spouting so much far-right ideology in such a concise amount of time that it's hard to keep track of.
And so then
right?
he tried rolling this back by saying like, hey, I'm not political. I just I don't even know who the AFD is.
I remember before Trump, the thing amongst a lot of these far right guys trying to like appeal to a wider audience or make themselves appear moderate was like, I'm a classical liberal. I'm not like right wing. I'm just like I'm more of like liberal, just like you remember Bill Clinton being or something like that was something I think the Proud Boys guy tried to say. Gavin something.
I got stuck on Gavin Newsom.
Now you had to say that. Now
I know we're fucked.
But yeah, it's the same old like rehashing over and over, where it's just like I'm not really that political. I'm I'm very center of the road, followed by. By the way, here's my very extremist ideas
you've ever heard in your life. I followed immediately by 14 words, like fuck.
Yeah. And trying to display that as a moderate position because, of course, then anything to the left of that is going to seem like insane by comparison, right?
That looks more right.
Gavin McInnes, yes, thank you, Jessica. Yes, absolutely.
That looks far more correct than what I was trying to conjure up. No. But yeah, so anyway, TLDR, this is just further in the category that this isn't accidental.
Yeah.
He's just straight up fascist. And in another happy news, New York City's flooding.
Yeah. Basically, here, let me get the headline up here. Climate change in New York City. Historic rains buckle city's infrastructure again. I like the comma again there. A warmer atmosphere can hold and deliver more moisture, something that the city has seen firsthand in recent years, but efforts to ensure it can handle modern storms has not been enough. Everything has been not enough, of course. right? Like that's been the name of the game this entire time we've been trying to talk about it.
Yeah.
Is not enough.
Well, and that's the thing is like if you're going to be trying to empty a 2-liter cola into a shot glass, trying to swap out the shot glasses more quickly ain't going to be enough because what you're trying to do is just completely out of the capacity of what you have built yourself.
Yeah.
So
and of course, like the freaking disaster that is this Eric Adams guy. I don't know if you guys know much about the current mayor of New York,
none,
but
zero.
he is he's horrific. He's terrible. He's an ex-cop.
No.
And he just unveiled like the new fancy NYPD robot that looks like a giant butt plug. So yeah, they were able to spend tens of thousands of dollars on whatever that fucking monstrosity
That
is.
would be millions.
But
I doubt it stopped at tens of
or
thousands.
yeah, like however much a freaking cop robot costs nowadays, even though it is like it doesn't have arms or anything, it just rolls around and talks or some shit. I don't know. It's really dumb.
Look, I'm going
but-
to say something right now. I am so bored of everyone trying to cosplay a 1980s movie villain
Yeah, right.
by pulling out fucking
literal
RoboCop
freaking
and
RoboCop.
shit.
A tiny brain like inside of there wired up from a cop that they stole it from, dead cop that they stole it from. I wouldn't be surprised. Could be, yeah. They're just literally getting their idea,
Oh,
like all the
so that's-
dystopian future stuff. What?
So I think this is what happened with the Neuralink defects.
Yeah. Ooh. We're onto something.
Ew.
We're through the looking glass here, people. But yeah, he's an ex-cop, enough said, right? But like he's also gone on to blame immigrants for causing a lot of New York City's problems, like classic far right wing stuff, right? Like in every regard. So yeah, he's an absolute disaster. He did not have a response or like any early warning or anything like that. He wasn't seen in public till like well after the city was already flooded. Like, did he finally make an appearance and say anything? So City Hall in their response and their ability to warn people was sorely lacking. He doesn't seem to want to recognize that. And what's crazy to me is like the really mad thing is that whole movie like about Don't Look Up, and it was supposed to be an analogy on climate change, and it's like it's right there washing up on your ankles,
Yeah.
and you still want to look the other way on this.
And your knees and your hips and
Yeah,
your navel and your chest and you're underwater.
Yeah, I think the video is showing something totally unrelated now, so I'm just gonna go back to that.
Yeah, but going over to the what the video is showing is that the government was able to avoid a debt ceiling shutdown. So, yay for that, kind of. But it's probably going to mean that McCarthy loses his speakership.
Good.
Which,
That guy is a
yeah,
fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, I want them all to tear each other apart, so that's fine. Whatever.
What is it? Adams criticized again for response to severe weather as city is deluged. Mayor Eric Adams did not publicly discuss the storm until nearly 24 hours after weather officials first warned of potential flash flooding in New York. Yeah, this guy doesn't give a shit, man. Like he's just as corrupt as they come. Like I thought, even for me that came from like Toronto, and lived in Toronto under Rob Ford, even I'm going looking at this New York guy, being like, holy shit, this guy sucks.
Yeah. But hey, now Toronto's got Olivia Chow, so I'm excited to see how all that pans out.
Well, what I'll be interested in seeing is in the wake of this flooding and how bad it really is. I'm trying to get more footage of it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving me a bit hard time because of my ad blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they make good pictures so hard to find?
Because fuck your face.
Yeah, there was like cars driving through like knee-deep water in a lot of spots. Okay, I think I found something here. Open. Oops.
John just said Debs tried running an ex-cop for senator here in North Carolina in 2002 and were shocked when she lost because people preferred a Republican over a cop. Is that 2002 or 2022? I can't quite see.
2022.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
I
he said.
thought that seemed more sensible, but I
Yeah.
couldn't quite tell.
So yeah, this is a corner in the flooding. Like, look how deep those cars are, man. Something like 100,000 some odd people live in basement apartments in that area. Like, how are you gonna fix that? Like, it's gonna like, where's the infrastructure?
Yeah.
What is the response to this ultimately going to be? Because based on what we've seen so far, it's going to be nothing. They, like, you know, I hate to be kind of like overly doomerish about this, but I've also want to reference back to, you know, union victories, rent strikes, people coming together and actually making a difference in this and how possible that is. But when you see this image here and understand the kind of lack of response on anybody in with the ability to do something on it, they will let us die.
Yeah.
They'll
absolutely.
let us die.
100%,
they will be
Yeah.
content with that. They
Yeah.
like the people in the position to do something about it will be fine with that happening.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimately.
No, they gleefully look forward to it. They
Yeah.
figure that there's enough of us bugs running around anyways that, like, you know, what's a few on the bottom of my shoe?
Unless we make it a serious problem for them to let
Because
that happen.
they're making it a serious fucking problem for us.
It's a problem for us right now.
Like, fucking
Yeah,
Christ.
and even in don't think upper middle class people or even upper class people that aren't like the top of the one, like the 0.1 of the 1% kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anybody like below that status, don't think for a second that you're above the poors and the people living in basement apartments on this thing, because it's wealthy neighborhoods in New York got flooded too, and they're going through the same bullshit. You ain't safe. Okay, you're not exempt. The people that are exempt are so high above you, and they don't give a shit.
And
man.
their yachts have yachts. So,
Yeah. Ben Shapiro. Just move. You know. Yeah. Well, when's it going to become what will be interesting is when it's a problem for all the property owners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
then they'll just
and the fact that a lot of places like New York and like cities along the coast there, from what I've understood even a couple of years ago, is a lot of insurance companies aren't even offering flood insurance anymore because they know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And places like Florida, that's becoming a big fucking problem.
Yeah.
So when the insurance companies won't even take your money anymore,
Yeah,
you know things are getting big.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like that should have been a big sign to people when insurance companies were like, I don't want to bank.
I fold.
I don't want to bank on you not flooding, because I really feel like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and our entire business model depends on making that call.
Depends
accurately.
on taking your money and not giving any of it back.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, that's where we're at, folks. That we can win when we
collectively.
when we collectively do stuff and agree on things.
Mm-hmm.
The powers that be know that, and they'd rather see that not happen. So I think this is why, like, it's not that the culture war is bullshit, but it's partially why the right wing funds the culture war.
Mm-hmm.
Despite it even not being politically advantageous for them.
Mm-hmm.
As we've discussed about on previous episodes, that
they need literally anything else to talk about.
yeah, exactly. because to actually address these issues is in a lack of ultimately of their interest in their power structure, and we have to make it too inconvenient for them to do that. So and you know,
expensive and dangerous.
and it's so easy to talk like, you know, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. You know, get into the practicum of it a little bit, shall we? Like, you know, what does it mean to do that? It means, you know, talking to your neighbors. It means talking to your coworkers. It means bringing up stuff that, you know, maybe isn't always comfortable and cool to talk about, you know? But I always advise, like, approach it with the idea that, you know, something can be done if we do it. You know, it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be, well, at least initially scary in talking about it. It might get scary when you get down to protesting.
Well, it's going to get scary when you get around to fixing it.
Yeah, exactly. When it will get tough, but like, at least start. You know, you can't do anything if you don't start, and it starts by talking and engaging with people about, you know, isn't this a serious problem for you? Wouldn't you do something about it? And what does that involve? You know,
and as I say, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
Yeah.
And so, we're late to a lot of stuff, and so we have had a lot of comfort slowly stripped away from us in terms of our earning power, in terms of our housing stability. We've let things slip for a while, but you know what? Today's the day. Today is as good a day as any to decide that, at least from your part, no more, right? And so then just got to keep building on that, keep bringing other people into the fold to know that, you know what, this horrific hellscape that we live in is not our only option. I don't care what cynical edgelords would have you believe. We can do better. We have done better. Now we just got to fucking do it.
Yep. And you're just gonna let's keep on seeing those union wins. Let's keep on what is it? Who else was UPS is that the other big strike that's happening, or UWS, or what's the one I'm thinking of?
The auto workers?
Yeah. The auto workers are on strike. Yeah. I'm sure this will end in victory for them. I have no doubt. It's hard to imagine it not. The actors are still on strike. I'm sure that'll come to a close soon, because now that the writers are back to work, well, you know, can't really film anything without the actors, right? Yeah. Great that they're writing, but the clock's going to run out on that. As long as we keep seeing these wins and keep recognizing, you know, it's possible, it just takes a matter of doing it. And it starts with, talking to your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers about what that looks like in realistic terms and what you can do. If anybody, also before we close the show, like and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube.
Click on the bell for notifications.
Yes,
ding,
click
ding,
on the bell
as,
for the notifications.
Simon Miller says.
Yes, exactly. So you are aware when we go live next. But we go live pretty much every Sunday at 8 o'clock. And except for next Sunday, because that's going to be Canadian Thanksgiving. For any Americans that might be watching. So we're going to be gone for that, and then back the following Sunday. And if you want to call in and be a more engaged part of the conversation, do let us know. We will schedule you in. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I would love to set up I've always wanted to set up a call-in situation on that show. I have yet to get the technological capability of doing that as of yet, but I definitely would like to.
Cool.
Yeah. So, if you ever do want to call in and have a quick chat, or if you disagree with me or not on something, and you want to hash that out, definitely let us know.
We obviously don't know everything about everything, and so I would love to know any gaps
Yeah.
So we can figure it out. And then if you're wrong and it's not a gap, then I'll tell you to go fuck your own face.
There you go. All right, yeah. Jessica is going to be on. And in case you didn't see, find Opinionated Lushes on all kinds of platforms. I think like find their Twitter, because it's just Opinionated Lushes. That's easy to find. And you can find all their other stuff from there. But I just did an episode with them. We filmed it near the beginning of the month, but it just came out this past weekend. So definitely check that out. I get drunk off my ass, and I can't remember half of what I said. So
Hopefully
that
something good.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
Okay,
yeah.
good enough.
So yeah, that kind of brings us to the end of today's episode.
Cool.
Thank you so much for watching. We had a few more watchers than we usually do on this episode. So enjoyed the live chat. Thanks for everyone for engaging, and hope to see you not next week, because again, Thanksgiving, but we'll see you the week after that. And until then,